Hey everyone, a bit of a different musings today. I was meant to be in the office today, but of course, like anything with motherhood or parenthood, you can never prepare for how your children are going to wake up or what's going to unfold the next day. So I was really pumped for a big week in the office. We have a super big shoot on Wednesday, but my little one was unwell yesterday. She had a mild temp. And yeah, she just woke up still a little bit lethargic, didn't eat much last night. So I just wanted to keep her home to make sure that she was a-okay. But she, of course, has been pointing to the door all day, trying to put her shoes on and her hat so she knows that the others are at school and she's missing out. So she's just watching something on the TV. I've had back-to-back meetings, so you just have to roll with it sometimes. It isn't easy. So a couple of things that I wanted to chat about, but something that is really on top of, like, on my mind at the moment. And I know I spoke a little while ago about an incident with mum shaming or mums not being supportive of each other. But since then, I've actually had conversations with some other mothers who have told similar stories. So in fact, another mother of three had a similar incident. She was also at a swimming lesson and she had another mother tell her that her child was annoying because the child was having a tantrum, which she then went on to explain to me that her husband had been away all week, that she was doing her best to get everyone to where they needed to be that day. Turns up, the child was having a tantrum. There was nothing she could do. She just stepped to the side to let her get over her little moment. And of course, this other person started to shame her as if she had a terrible child, and then went on to be quite rude and, doing all sorts of weird things with, walking in between her and someone else talking and making rude comments. And then last Friday, I was leaving swimming lessons. It wasn't at swimming lessons, but I had to run through a shopping centre to get to the car park. Now, for those of you that have been with us for a little while, you know that two of my children have some additional needs. And with my eldest, we are working through that. She has something called neurofibromatosis, which is NF. And I will definitely be sharing more on it because there's so much education and awareness needed. But there is a lot of unknowns as to what things might occur with her, both physically and with her learning abilities and her behavioural type stuff. So she is going to be reassessed out at the hospital sometime soon. But what we've noticed with her is when things don't go her way, or if she's anxious or stressed or whatever it might be, she has a really hard time regulating her emotions. I'm obviously working with so many incredible experts that I do my very best. And on this particular day, she was not taking no for an answer. She wanted an ice cream from the ice cream shop there. We needed to get home to the nanny who was finishing early, and she had a little bit of a meltdown. So I stepped to the side. I let her have her moment, after already trying to explain to her that we're going to get something on the way home together. So I had done my absolute best. And then this other woman decided to get out of the lift and really rouse on her, tell her how incredibly and horrible little girl she was and how loud she was. And she just burst into tears and melted down. I burst into tears. And yeah, this woman was just so horrible to us. And I thought, you know what, if this has happened to me several times where I experienced mum shaming or somebody else getting involved in a situation, I can imagine that it's happening a lot out there. And I just think more and more I want to be that voice to tell people to be kind to one another. You have absolutely no idea what that person is going through. In our case, there's a lot of stuff we're dealing with just to really make sure that we're supporting her the best way we can. So the last thing you want is someone to trigger anything and to just dive in and have an opinion. And look, people are different. Everyone's going to go through it. But I think as a community, it's just more important than ever to have each other's back. So be kind, please. And yeah, I think more and more in this space, I want to share about the unexpected things that might happen. So without going into too much detail in the Monday Musings, because I really feel that there's a separate section on this, but we shared a post recently, and in fact, you might have seen that it's a promoted post at the moment. We have literally had thousands of saves on this particular post, and I have had an influx of messages but also comments on there of people saying thank you so much for sharing the real side to parenting. It's funny because it's not funny, but I got two DMs, some really negative messages saying how damaging it was for us to be sharing the real side. But after me responding, I hope that they are now a little bit more aware about what we do and the breadth of work we do. I've just got off the phone with our resident psychologist, who is amazing, and we do a lot of work to support new parents. But a lot, we've got so many positive comments, and all of them are saying, thank you so much for sharing this. I wish someone had told me it was okay that I wouldn't love my baby straight up. I wish somebody told me that breastfeeding wasn't going to be easy and that all of these things could happen. And I think more and more we do need to be the voice of real parenting. Yes, we work with incredible experts, we inspire, we tell you all the wonderful things that happen, but at the same time, things might not always work out as planned. And that brings me back to, my children having particular needs. It's like development. My youngest is developmentally delayed. So, you read these things where you look at the chart and the expectations of where your child should be. And these are absolutely important, yes, because it really helps you have a benchmark. But there will be times where you need to flag, okay, something isn't looking right here, and then finding the best options or resources to help you through. I had my middle son, he had torticollis when he was born, so he developed flathead syndrome. I had him in a helmet. So I've dealt with people questioning why my son was walking around with a helmet. Is he clumsy, they used to ask, and all sorts of, does he have epilepsy? I used to get all sorts of, interest into why he was walking around with a helmet. And then, of course, my daughter with NF. So again, being born with a neurological condition that, took us by surprise 12 months in. So, this is not to scare anyone, because there's a lot of beautiful pregnant women out there or new parents out there. And I don't want anyone to ever think that we are trying to put fear amongst our community. But at the same time, like so many others have said, there are just some things you wish you would have known. So, I really am proud that we have this platform where we can share some of these things, that may or may not happen, but just so parents feel aware and prepared, because I would much rather that than somebody thinking it's all going to be this beautiful, smooth sailing, easy ride, and the only thing you have to worry about is sleep deprivation, when in fact, sometimes our little ones need a little bit of extra support. So thank you to those that have joined our community. There's so many wonderful new faces. We have literally had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds going through. We just capped 20,000 on our Instagram, which is awesome. So previously, our app has been our primary focus. We have so many incredible users on our app. And with Android launching very soon, I keep getting messaged daily about that as well. I know that that's just going to absolutely double. But yeah, for Instagram, for us, it's something that we hadn't invested a lot of time in, purely because we were just so stretched as a team and our app was requiring all our love and attention. But really in the last couple of months, we have really felt it's important, obviously, to bring back the community component. And we have literally seen the results from that new content that we're sharing out there. So we're so glad that it's resonating. We will always aim to provide interesting, practical tips with you. I'm going to be ramping up all of the lives. I've got so many incredible experts already lined up over the coming weeks. And as I said, we've got a shoot on Wednesday, which is with 6 experts and a beautiful brand that we love and adore. And we're going to be sharing so many incredible tips to support the early parenting journey. So yeah, there is so much happening. Just wanted to check in and say thank you for those that are new here, because it's really important to us that we are building this community around kindred, and I hope that you will reach out to us, connect with us, chat with us if ever you need to, because we are always here to help, and we have incredible parents on our team that just feel so passionately about what we do. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling, and I can hear little Nunu down there calling out for me, and I will check in very, very soon. See you guys.